Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwegbe. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365, and free to air on Nightcomsat. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, has commenced moves to drop the charges brought against the 32 minors arraigned before Justice Obiora Igwatu of the Federal High Court in Abuja. As after the arraignment, the nation's law officer had disclosed in a statement his interest in taking over the matter from the Inspector General of Police, noting that there are issues his office would like to review. It is believed that the Inspector General of Police had already submitted the case file to the Minister of Justice as requested, and actions are ongoing to swiftly drop the charges against the defendants. As the November 16 gubernatorial election in Ondo State draws closer, members of the Ibira community in the state have endorsed Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa as their preferred candidate. Governor Usman Ododo of Kogi State, who led the gathering of Ibira indigenes in Owo, spoke passionately on behalf of the community, drumming support for Governor Aiyedatiwa. Kekelemo Okere completes the report.
It is a carnival-like atmosphere at our community as the campaign tour of Governor Lucky Orimisan Aiyedatiwa, candidate of All Progressive Congress, touched the campaign ground. Kogi State Governor Usman Ododo says the entire Ibira community across Ondo State have resolved to support and vote for All Progressive Congress in the coming election in the state.
We all know him. He has been tested and can be trusted. We want continuity. We want consolidation. And he has started very, very well. My brother, I want to tell you that the Ibira community, the Igala community, and the Oku community in Ondo State, they are 100% behind you.
In his response, Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed gratitude for the community's support and praised President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's commitment to Ondo State economic development. He also commended Governor Ododo for his exemplary leadership. Reflecting on the APC primary election in Ondo State, which Governor Ododo chaired, Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed confidence in a fair and transparent electoral process in November 16th.
Let me also tell you, Alhaji Usman, that even before Mr. President became the president of this country about 2 years ago, he has always shown interest in the political and economic development of Ondo State. At every governorship election, since I met him in 2012, he has always been interested in who becomes the governor of Ondo State, so that he can contribute and give his support to the economic development of the state.
The Deputy Governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olaide Adelami, whose local government hosted the rally, thanked Governor Ododo for his love for Aiyedatiwa and the APC. Kekelemo Okere, Global Television News.
In the meantime, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa of Ondo State has assured residents of Akoko Northeast that if elected, his administration will redouble efforts to prioritize the welfare of every citizen in the state. The governor, alongside his deputy and running mate, Dr. Olaide Adelami, made this known when they visited Akoko Northeast local government area. Again, here is Kekelemo Okere with the rest of the story.
It is a moment of jubilation and excitement in Iborokpa, Akonu, and Ikare Akoko Northeast as the campaign tour of Governor Lucky Orimisan Aiyedatiwa, candidate of All Progressive Congress in November 16 governorship election in Ondo State, touched Akoko Northeast local government. At Ikare Akoko, headquarters of the local government, Governor Aiyedatiwa received royal blessings from Olukare of Ikare, Oba Kadri Momo, and the Owa Ale of Ikare, Oba Adeleke Adedoyin. His Royal Highness Olukare of Ikare, Oba Kadri Momo, appeals to the governor to help in curbing the menace of kidnapping and insecurity in the region.
In this terrain, I want to crave your indulgence to chronicle few of our challenges. We have said them before and we will not be tired of repeating them. Mr. Governor, this is not the first time you are coming to us. In the extreme buffer point there, making Kogi, we have the greatest challenge there is kidnapping, insecurity, and mostly there are people coming from Abuja or from other axes from the east through Kogi. Usually they are kidnapped. The people look around, they are just by the military and police checking points. Kidnappers look around there to cause mayhem. And we'll be happy if you can look into that aspect.
Governor Aiyedatiwa highlighted the overwhelming support from the communities as a testament to the positive impact his administration has made in Ondo State. Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed gratitude for the warm reception and royal blessings. The governor assures that the request made by the royal fathers will be granted and incorporated into the 2025 budget, stressing the government's responsibility to ensure equitable development across the states.
Same language. It is a case of all of them, as if they have discussed, they have agreed with one mind that the election, the governorship election for November 16, 2024, the votes will be given to my party, APC. That is the voice of the traditional rulers, the voice of the chiefs, the voice of the women and all the youth.
During the tour, Honorable Stephen Olamija, a former House of Representative member for Akoko North-East, North-West Federal Constituency, Lekan Bada, former chairman Akoko North-East and candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the last House of Reps by election in the constituency, and another notable PDP leader, Momo Mufu, also known as Akpongon, defected to APC and were received into the party by the governor. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Okay, Kalama Okeri, thank you for your reporting from Ondo State. Now, let's turn to other developments for you. The federal government has released funds to settle outstanding salaries owed to members of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Federal Universities and pay benefits to retirees under the Nigerian Union of Pensioners Contributory Pension Scheme. This was contained in a statement by the Director, Press and Public Relations Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Bawa Mokwa. He confirmed that payments to the union members have been commenced, with many already confirming receipts. The Nigerian Correctional Service has denied reports that juvenile and bad governance protest defendants were detained in adult custodial facilities at the Kuje Custodial Center in Abuja, following the arraignment of 76 individuals in connection with the protest. Justice Obiar Egwatu ordered that underage defendants be placed in a Bristol facility, while adults would be remanded in standard cells until their bail conditions were met. Spokesman of the Correctional Service, Umar Abubakar, in a statement clarified that reports of the service detaining the minors in adults facility were misleading and assured that the service adheres to strict standards when managing juvenile offenders. Minister of Works David Umahi has stated that the first phase of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway would be ready for commissioning by May 29, 2025. The Minister of Works stated this when he led the Federal Ministry of Works, members of the House of Representatives and the Senate House Committee on Works to inspect some sections of the ongoing Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road project stretching along 8 states. Umahi, who noted that the president had paid full compensation to affected property owners along the federal right-of-way before the demolition of property took place, emphasized the commitment of the administration of President Bola Tinubu to ensuring the massive rehabilitation and completion of abandoned road projects across the 36 states of the Federation. The National Economic Council, NEC, has expressed reservations over the tax reform bill forwarded by President Bola Tinubu to the National Assembly. This was part of the resolutions reached during the National Economic Council meeting chaired by Vice President Kashif Shettima at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Elsewhere, Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa has called on the Military High Command to work as a team to secure the country peacefully. The defense chief made the call during the formal taking-over ceremony of the newly appointed Acting Chief of Army Staff, Major General Olufemi Oluyede, in Abuja. Samuel Odi reports.
General Musa noted it is unprecedented to have an acting chief of army staff when there is a substantive chief of army staff, who unfortunately is indisposed, noting that Major General Oluyede will be acting until the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, decides otherwise.
In the interim, based on the powers conferred on the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, he has decided and directed and appointed an acting Chief of Army Staff with the full powers and responsibilities of the Chief of Army Staff until the President decides otherwise.
He congratulated the acting Chief of Army Staff on his appointment and implored him not to rest on his laurel in ensuring that he justifies the confidence reposed in him by the President.
You have to note that your selection was based on your vast knowledge of military leadership at all levels, character and competence. You are a member of a larger team of professional soldiers who are saddled with the responsibility of defending the territorial integrity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria by land, sea, and air as captured in our Constitution.
In his remark after completion of the signing in of the taking over notes, General Olukayode promised to hold forth as acting Army Chief until the return of Lieutenant General Abiodun Lagbaja, who is the substantive Chief of Army Staff. The acting Chief of Army Staff solicited prayers for Lieutenant General Lagbaja's speedy recovery and safe return to complete the excellent job he started.
Appointment as acting Chief of Army Staff is simply to hold sway while Lieutenant General T.A. Lagbaja, our Chief of Army Staff, is a way to enable him to take sufficient time to get necessary medical attention and recuperate. And that I intend to do with the whole of my heart and loyalty to the Constitution.
Until his appointment, Acting Chief of Army Staff Olufemi Oluyede served as the 56th Commander of the Elite Infantry Corps of the Nigerian Army based in Jaji, Kaduna State. The 56-year-old Oluyede and Lagbaja were classmates and members of the 39th Regular Corps. He was commissioned a second lieutenant in 1992. Effective from 1987, he rose to Major General in September 2020. Samuel Odi reporting for Global Television News. General Musa noted it is unprecedented to have an acting chief.
Well, thank you, Samuel Odi. Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu has advised state governments to find an alternative to power generation in the country. The minister gave the advice during a one-day working visit to Kano State against the background of the recent blackouts in some northern states. Global Television correspondent Jibrin Idris has details.
Arriving the VIP wing of the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport is the Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu, alongside other top government delegation from the Federal Capital Territory. The visit is to inform the people of Kano State and northern Nigerians in general the cause of the blackout in the region.
The issue of electricity supply is not one that one entity can handle alone. It must be a collaborative effort.
The minister reiterated the determination of the federal government to restore power to the affected states, adding that it has no intention of marginalizing any section of the country over electricity distribution.
Alternative power source, which I also mentioned when I was delivering my speech, that is the way to go. Sincerely, that is the permanent solution to having negative impact of grid disturbances. Just like we had the vandalization of transmission lines, it affected the entire northern states.
Especially the one that we are here, 1 megawatt Bagaja, is just to provide energy security, for the citizen in the state. And the Honorable Minister is also talking about bringing investors that will construct a plant that will give around 100 megawatt.
Receiving the minister at the Kano State Government House, Governor Abba Kabir, represented by his Chief of Staff, Shehu Wadasa Agagi, told the minister that the state government is working very hard to establish independent power project which has already reached 70% completion stage.
The blackout causes significant loss in billions of naira to the industries in the state, also affected the areas of revenue generation, healthcare sector, and day-to-day activities of the populace.
Kano State and several other northern states have been without electricity for almost 10 days, though only yesterday light was restored to some states in the north, a situation attributed to the activities of bandits around the 300 kV line along Kaduna-Shiroro power distribution axis. From Kano, Idris Jubrin reporting for Global Television News.
We appreciate your reporting, Idris. The President General of Al-Neze Indigbo Worldwide, late Chief Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu, has been laid to rest in his hometown of Ata-Ekeduru in Imo State. The ceremony was attended by dignitaries across the country, including top government officials, traditional rulers, and prominent Igbo leaders. Imo State correspondent Marachi Ibe was there for Global Television.
In his sermon, the prelates and metropolitans of all Nigerian Anglican Communion, Most Reverend Henry Ndukuba, urged the family to remain united, just as their father was a symbol of peace.
Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu, a distinguished Nigerian, a well-known family man, a lover of the youth, an astute politician, a leader of the people, one who identifies with his people and with Nigeria.
President Bola Tinubu, represented by Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, praised Chief Iwuanyanwu as a nationalist and champion of nation building who promoted unity and harmony among diverse communities. He also acknowledged his contribution as a civil engineer whose experimental architectural design were approved by the Federal Ministry of Works.
Present engineer, Iwuanyanwu experimented with flexible pavements and concrete parameters, producing a mixed design of asphaltic concrete. The Nigerian Ministry of Works approved this design.
Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma described Chief Iwuanyanwu as a great leader who believed in a just Nigeria where Igbo people could thrive in peace alongside their fellow citizens. He announced that the newly built Imo International Conference Center will be named after him.
On behalf of the government and people of Imo State, that the new ultra-modern International Conference Center being constructed by Imo State shall henceforth be known as Chief Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu International Conference Center, Owerri.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, represented by Senator Enyinnaya Abaribe, consoled the family and praised late Chief Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu as a shining image who inspired generations.
I urge you, the family and the son, with your siblings, to internalize the timeless philosophy and allow it to guide your lives in honor of your late father.
Other dignitaries in attendance include the APC National Chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje, wife of former President Goodluck Jonathan, the impatient Jonathan, Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, all former governors of Imo State and their deputies, service chiefs, traditional rulers, among others. It is the hope of the family of Chief Iwuanyanwu and the Igbo nation that the legacies he left behind will linger across generations. From St. Matthew Cathedral, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Global Television's correspondent in Imo State there, Amarachi Ibe. We appreciate your report. And Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, says the Commission will undertake a final readiness assessment of its preparations for the November 16 Ondo State governorship election next week. The chairman disclosed this at the 4th quarterly consultative meeting with media organizations at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja, where he noted that as part of the assessment, the Commission would meet with its officials, engage with stakeholders, and interact with security agencies and transport providers. He also said there would be further improvements, especially in the areas of logistics for the improvement and movement of personnel and materials for both land and riverine locations for prompt commencement of polls, as well as management of the processes on election day from voting to declaration of results at the Ondo polls. You're watching the live broadcast of the Midday News here on Global Television, coming to you from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When the news returns, the federal government tasks petroleum marketers and engineers on sustainable solutions for oil sector challenges. Details of these, as well as foreign and sports stories, coming right after this short break. Please do stay with us. The second half of the Midday News begins with business now, where the federal government has charged petroleum engineers to devise sustainable solutions to critical challenges facing the oil sector, which include low productivity, oil theft, and pipeline vandalism. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lokpobiri, speaking at the annual conference of the Nigerian Institution of Petroleum Engineers in Abuja, emphasized the need for innovative homegrown strategies to enhance the industry's performance. On the foreign scene, barely a few days to the United States presidential election, Americans living in settlements in the Israeli-occupied West Bank seek Donald Trump's second term, as recent polls show that a majority of Israelis dream of the days when the former president inhabited the White House. Trump prioritized Israel during his previous term, moving the American embassy to Jerusalem, recognizing Israeli sovereignty over the occupied Golan Heights, and helping to normalize ties between Israel and several Arab states under the so-called Abraham Accords. Now, many Israelis believe Trump will offer yet more support as the country battles Iran-backed militant groups in Gaza and Lebanon, as well as Iran itself. The United States has announced the deployment of additional military assets to the Middle East. The deployment includes ballistic missile defense destroyers and long-range B-52 bomber aircraft, serving as a warning to Iran as it and Israel trade tit-for-tat strikes. Pentagon spokesman Major General Pat Ryder said in a statement that should Iran, its partners, or its proxies use the movement or moment to target American personnel or interests in the region, the United States will take every measure necessary to defend its people. Ukraine says Kyiv has come under heavy drone attack overnight as fresh explosions were heard in the capital and other regions were struck. President Volodymyr Zelensky says, unfortunately, the attack by Russian drones caused damage and casualties in various districts of the nation's capital. He says the residents and constant terrorist attacks on Ukrainian cities prove that the pressure on Russia and its accomplices is not enough. Former British Business Secretary Kemi Badenoch has emerged as the new leader of the Conservative Party, defeating Robert Jenrick in the final round of voting. Badenoch, raised in Nigeria, is the first black woman to lead a major political party in the United Kingdom and takes over a Conservative Party reeling from its worst ever election defeat. And quickly in sports, Antoine Semenyo and Evelyn Sane have scored as Bournemouth sealed their first ever win against Manchester City at Vitality Stadium. The Cherries, in good form after picking up 4 points from their last 2 games against Aston Villa and Arsenal, started quickly and full of positivity. And that's it on the media news, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, on Global Television. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV, channel 365, start times 276, and free to air on Nightcomsat. Kindly follow us across our social media platforms using the Global TV NG and other handles, as you now see on your screen. I am Agmo Fuegbe. Thank you so very much for watching. You are with Global Television.